RT150E Exterior Components Disassembly and Assembly Steps and Engine Oil Change Demonstration. Disassembly and Assembly Steps for Exterior Components. Disassemble the left and right side strips. Remove the left foot pedal rubber. Unscrew the key bolts on the left side. Tap forward to remove the left strip when disassembling. Pay attention to the buckle connecting the left strip to the foot pedal to avoid the buckle breaking. The disassembly steps on the right are the same as those on the left. R. Disassemble the front panel. Unscrew R bolts. Tap the front panel upwards to remove it, and then unplug the wiring harness connector. Side. Remove the front cover. Remove the front cover decoration. Unscrew side bolts on each side. Use specialized tools to remove one expansion bolt on each side. Unplug the wiring harness connector and remove the front cover when disassembling. Pay attention to the buckle connecting the front cover and the protective plate to avoid the buckle breaking. 4. Disassemble seat and storage box. Press down the key and turn counterclockwise to open the seat. Unscrew R bolts and remove the battery cover. Unscrew 4 bolts from the storage box and remove the positive and negative wires of the battery. Then take out the battery. Unplug the wiring harness connector and fuse box. Take out the seat and storage box. And pay attention to the wire harness buckle. Disassemble the rear armrest. Unscrew 4 bolts and remove the rear armrest. Disassemble the front connecting plate of the vehicle body. Unscrew 4 bolts and pay attention to the buckle connecting the front connecting plate to the vehicle body during disassembly to avoid breakage of the buckle. 7. Disassemble the vehicle body cover. Disconnect the relay and flasher. Unscrew 4 bolts on the inner side of the vehicle. 4 bolts on the bottom of the vehicle. And R bolts at the rear. Remove the tail light harness and rear turn signal harness. And take out the vehicle body cover. 8. Disassemble the foot pedal. Release the foot pedal and unscrew 4 bolts. Unscrew the fastening bolts of the rear foot pedals and remove the left and right rear foot pedals. Remove the footrest and pay attention to the buckle below the footrest that connects to the protective plate when disassembling, to avoid the buckle breaking. 9. Disassemble the protective plate. Unscrew the fixing bolt of the ignition lock. Unplug the ignition lock wire. And take out the ignition lock. Unplug the decoder cable. Unscrew the side bolts on the protective plate. And remove the hook of the protective plate. Remove the fuel tank vent pipe and USB cable. And take out the protective plate. 10. Disassemble the rear view mirror and instrument panel. Loosen the facing nut counterclockwise and remove the left and right rear view mirrors. Unscrew R bolts and remove the front headlight decorative cover when disassembling. Pay attention to the buckle connecting the decorative cover to the instrument housing and lamp housing to avoid the buckle breaking. Unscrew the bolts, lightly tap the instrument housing and lamp housing. Remove the instrument housing. Then pay attention to the buckle connecting the instrument housing and lamp housing during disassembly to avoid breakage of the buckle. Then plug the instrument harness connector in the left and right turn signal harness connectors. And remove the instrument housing. 11. Disassembling completed. The exterior components of the entire vehicle have been basically disassembled, and the internal components and wiring can be visually checked, making it easy to inspect and repair in case of malfunctions. 2. Oil change. Oil change standard. The first method of oil change involves draining waste oil from the engine oil drain bolt using a 14 克 wrench and tightening it to a torque of 16 Nm. The second method of oil change is to discharge waste oil through the engine oil filter screen, and use a 17 克 wrench to tighten the oil drain bolt to a torque of 16 Nm. The recommended oil level for new vehicle is 900毫升. And the amount of oil to be added is determined by the upper and lower markings on the oil dipstick. The standard for adding new engine oil is SN 10瓦40. The standard for adding oil without replacing the oil filter during maintenance is 800毫升. And the standard for adding oil filter when replacing the oil filter during maintenance is 800毫升. 2. Attention. When changing the engine oil and maintaining the vehicle, it is necessary to check the tightening of bolts in all critical parts of the vehicle. Check the braking system. Check the tire pressure. With front wheel pressure standard of 2.2 帕 and rear wheel pressure standard of 2.5 帕. Thank you.